Hey there, English expanders. It's 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Welcome everyone to another episode of Expand Your English. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about some tips for the written exam because Hoinaka has just asked me a question about this. And, hello, Hoinaka. Nice to have you here. And, I love serving my readers, and I love serving the ones who are interested in my English Expander Facebook group, because we also have a Facebook group where we can discuss things in English, and things are getting started there. So if you want to join this wonderful community who help each other during with the help of communication, then join my free Facebook group, Expand Your English. And today, because one of my dearest and most loyal fans has asked about this, today we are going to talk about the reading part of the exam. And before we get started, we always start with the question of the day. And today the question of the day is, what are the most difficult things for you in the reading part of the exam, or while reading an English text? What's the most difficult thing for you there? Right, so Hoinaka, are you here? You're here live. The others are here live. So I'm just going to talk about the reading part of the test. Before we dive deeper into the topic, I would like to tell you some different types of exercises that come up during a reading test or during the reading part. The reading part of the text is quite tiring. Yes, reading a lot of text at a short period of time can be exhausting, and you need a lot of practice for this to get a pro on this part of the exam. Some tests have different types of tasks. We are here in Hungary, we are based in Hungary, and the Hungarian language exams tend to have different tasks. One of the tasks is that sometimes you get a lot of short paragraphs and you need to find a heading, a title for each paragraph. The other type of task is that you get a long text, and after the text there are 5 or 6 questions in English with a multiple choice answer. So you can choose the best answer for the question in from 3 or 4 different answers. Or the other type of task is that you need to match one sentence half with another one. And unfortunately, they are not short sentences. They are always longer ones. And sometimes if you do the final exam in your secondary school exam, sometimes you get a long text, you can't use a dictionary, and after the long text you get 10 sentences or 8 with 1 word missing from them, and you need to write in the missing information from the text. And there is a special exam in Hungary in which there is also a really long text, but you can use a dictionary with that. And after the long text, which is in English, of course, the questions are in Hungarian, and you need to answer the questions in Hungarian. Which one is your favorite type of reading task? Tell me in the comments below, please, because I'm sure you have a favorite type of task. My favorite one is maybe the one where there is an English text, a long one, and the questions are in Hungarian. I'm going to tell you in a few minutes why I especially love that activity. But Before we dive deeper into the topic, let's welcome Hoinaka and Esther and Nikki. I'm so happy that you are all here, ladies. And yes, why not comment on your favorite tasks for of the reading task, if you have any favorite tasks, by the way. So as I told you, my favorite one is the one when there is a long English text about sometimes interesting topics, but at the end you get Hungarian questions and you get to answer the questions in Hungarian. I especially like that exercise because the examiners help you somehow in a way that with the questions, and you understand the questions because they are in your mother tongue, and in that way they help you, guide you through the text. So my first tip for every kind of exam reading test would be this. First, don't start with reading the text, but first start reading the questions, okay? So if you get questions for the reading test, always start with reading the questions first, because this will guide you during your reading exercise. Okay, so now you first read the questions. I hope you understood each and every question, and you can also read all the multiple choice ABCD answers for the text so that you know where to look for the answers. Then go back to the text. This is step number 2. Step number 1 was read the questions first. Step number 2, go to the text, read it carefully, but don't use a dictionary this time, okay? So read the text in one piece so that you get the gist of it, as they say. The gist is the meaning of the text, okay? Then comes step 3. Go back to the questions and try to find the questions in the paragraphs. So if you think you found the answer for question 1, or you know where to look for the answer, then circle it or underline the sentences in which you are going to look for the answer. Now, if you underline it, you can take the dictionary in your hand now at this point and try to understand the sentence. You don't need to understand the whole text. You just try to focus on that very paragraph where you feel the answer is hiding somewhere. In that way, you don't need to use a dictionary with all the text. You need to use the dictionary with just a little part of the text. Try to understand the sentence. Try to understand every little detail, because there is your answer. And then you need to find the best way to answer this question in Hungarian, if it's the case, or in English. But please never copy the whole sentence in English if the test asks you to answer questions in English. Try to say the answers with your own words, or try to find the best suitable ABCD option. How can you find it best? It takes logic, okay? The first way to answer the multiple choice questions is, first, you always need to find one option which is out of the question, 1 or 2 options, which you will cross out. This is the only way how you can do it. And then you should read the answers carefully, and you should, the only secret for is that you need to stick to the original text. Don't overthink it, okay? Don't use your women's logic, because women tend to think it over and over and think way ahead of the text. No, please stick to the text And maybe, Heini, that is, I think this is your problem with the reading task that you were asking, that you might think about the possible background story of the text or the possible solutions for the problems. No, what you need to take into consideration is the text, what is in front of you. Maybe this is your problem, Heini. Please write that down in the comments below. Or if Esther or Nikki or Gary is suffering from the same problem, please write this down in the comments below. And I need to think about it and look for other solutions carefully. So we are at step 3. So you compared everything, all the answers with the text, and you stick to the text word by word so that the answer fits the question and also the text. Okay, and in step 4, you jump to the next question and you jump to the next paragraph or next part of the reading text. Now, these are the 3 or 4 steps in which you need to handle a reading exercise. I know it's not easy. I know it's really difficult. And I know why I know it, because a lot of students suffer with this skill even in your mother tongue. So we are Hungarians, and in the Hungarian final exam, when you are 18 or 19-year-old, there is a task in the grammar final exam that you need to, do a reading exercise as well. Okay, and if you struggle with the English one, the first thing to know is that you need to improve this skill in your mother tongue. And Hungarians, I'll give you a little secret. There is a page where you can find all the previous final exam tests back for 15 years now, because for 15 years we have the new system in the final exam. And for every year you can find two seasons, or there is the autumn season final exam and the spring season final exam. And you know what you need to do? You need to practice the Hungarian reading part. You can find all the keys there, with all the answers. And if you get better in the Hungarian, then you can jump to the English one. And on that very special page, you can also find some reading tests for the final exam in English on intermediate level and on advanced level as well. So this is what you need to do for the reading test. First, practice the skill in your mother tongue, and then jump to English, and don't start looking up every word in the dictionary all at once. Now, Heinalka has written us some comments. She doesn't have a favorite reading task. The most difficult task for her is the true or false exercise, which I haven't mentioned. Yes, the true or false exercise, because she can't make a difference between the false and the not mentioned one. Yes, they said true, false, the text doesn't say. Now, Heini, oh my God, the only thing is that you need to examine the text really carefully. Does the text say anything about this sentence? If you feel that, oh no, they doesn't talk about this, it's just only in your head what you're thinking about it, then say the text doesn't say. If you feel that, if you can find, the answer in the text and it's completely different than what the sentence says, then it's false. But when the text doesn't mention it exactly what is there in the sentence, then you should choose the text doesn't say option. And when I told you that you may think behind the background story of the text, Heinalka says, Yes, it happens. Thank you. I always overcomplicate the task. I know, because I've had several private students who do the same. Hoini, it's a typical problem of language learners and exam takers or candidates. This is what you need to forget. And I know we are women, and it's really hard for us to forget this skill because women usually do this all the time. I know, I've been in this situation. I keep overthinking. Yeah, I keep doing this. But try to think like a man. Oh my God, they are really simple. They focus on one thing. And what you need to focus on during the reading task is what the text says. Right. Do you have any questions in connection with the reading task, or do you feel that you want to ask something personal from me? Go on in the comments. I'm here for 2 more minutes to answer the questions. And until the questions come in, I'm going to talk about my very new Facebook. No, it's not a Facebook course. My very new event that's coming on the 10th of November. I'm going to start a live online coaching group session, which is going to prepare students every week for 40 minutes a week for the speaking test. We're going to meet every Saturday in the afternoon for 40, 45, 60 minutes. It depends on you. And I'm going to guide you through the steps and the tasks you need to be prepared of for your speaking test. It's going to take 6 weeks, 6 Saturdays, and we're going to meet live, and you're going to have the chance to ask me, and I'm going to answer you, and I'm going to give lectures. I'm going to give you practical tips in this online course, which is going to take place from November the 10th, yes, every Saturday, and only 6 people can join this group coaching course. But by the middle of December, by the 20th of December, you'll be ready for your speaking test, and you can join the January speaking language test. And yes, you're going to pass it, I'm sure. So if you want to get more information about this online course, please join englishexpander.net/6. It's here in the description of this live video. Read the information. Maybe you're interested in this course. And if you want to get more information about it, join my early bird list, and you will get more info about the course, which is coming very, very soon. I'm really excited about this. I haven't done anything like this yet, and this is going to be my first online group coaching course. But I hope I'm going to help you, and I'm going to have 6 students who are going to go through the preparation process, focused week by week. I'm going to stand right beside you, holding your hand, literally taking you with me to your speaking test, to your successful pass of the speaking test. Now, I can see that you have no more questions for today. That's all for now. And yeah, join the Facebook group where we can discuss the tips and discuss your questions in English. And you can also join my early bird list for my upcoming course, englishexpander.net/6. And see you next week, this time. And have a wonderful afternoon. And don't forget to surround yourself with English. Bye for now. Bye. Have a nice afternoon, everyone.